After traveling back in time, Mark Grayson wasted no time acting on what he knew. Carrying the weight of his memories, he went straight to Alan the alien and revealed the Viltrumites' hidden agenda, the eventual takeover of Earth. He also told Alan that his father, Nolan, had undergone a change of heart and would now stand with them in the fight against the Viltrumites. With this new information, the two of them made their way to Earth's Pentagon to take the next step. There, Nolan, once a feared Viltrumite warrior, was freed and explained to Alan that he had turned against the Viltrumite Empire and was now fully committed to stopping them. After saying an emotional goodbye to Debbie, his wife and Mark's mother, Nolan left Earth alongside Alan to begin preparing for the coming battle. Cecil Stedman, the head of the Global Defense Agency, thanked Mark for his actions, clearly aware of how much he had sacrificed. Mark, wanting to continue helping, requested a communication headset so Cecil could direct him to other trouble spots in the world that needed his attention. What followed was a long stretch of exhausting work. Mark threw himself into battle after battle, confronting multiple threats in quick succession. He helped fight off the returning Lizard League, clashed with villains like the Elephant and Doc Seismic, and even battled the invading Flaxons. These skirmishes weren't fought alone. He teamed up with a mix of heroes both old and new, including the Reanimen, the original and reformed Guardians of the Globe, and the Teen Team. During one of the battles, Mark rescued Eve from a devastating Flaxon energy blast, acting on instinct. But Rexplode, who was currently in a relationship with Eve, took a shot at Mark, reminding him that Eve was with him now, not Mark. That hit harder than expected. Mark didn't respond, but the tension stuck with him. Eventually, after a seemingly endless series of fights, Mark returned home. Debbie, worried, asked if he wanted to talk about everything that had been happening. Mark brushed it off, saying he was just tired. He went to his room, and the moment the door closed behind him, he broke down and began to cry. The emotional and physical strain of trying to fix everything was clearly taking a toll. Then, without warning, the strange being responsible for sending Mark back in time appeared once more. The entity had been watching. It told Mark that, thanks to his actions, many lives had been saved and countless tragedies were avoided. But also noticed that Mark didn't seem satisfied or at peace. When asked why, Mark admitted he was struggling. This version of his life didn't feel like his life anymore. He felt like a stranger in it. The entity revealed something important. By altering the timeline, Mark had unknowingly changed several key events. One of them was that Eve never found out about Rex's affair with Duplicate, which meant their relationship never ended the way it originally had. Mark had hoped that doing good would fix everything, but now he saw that fixing some things meant losing others. The mysterious being explained that Mark had been chosen for his empathy and the way he inspired those around him. His selflessness had made him the perfect person to help save this version of the universe. But now, Mark had a decision to make. He could stay in this altered timeline, where his actions were already making a difference, or he could return to his original reality, with all its pain, but also all its familiarity. As Mark struggled with this decision, Mark made up his mind. He wanted to return to his original timeline. The mysterious entity, clearly surprised by his decision, questioned his choice. It reminded Mark that if he went back, the version of Terra that existed in this current universe would vanish completely. In other words, choosing to leave would mean erasing his daughter from existence here. Despite the weight of that truth, Mark stood firm. He couldn't ignore everything he had left behind in his original world. The entity couldn't understand it. To give up the chance to save thousands of lives just to preserve one felt unthinkable to it. It gave Mark one last opportunity to change his mind and remain in the current timeline. Mark didn't hesitate. He refused. Disappointed and frustrated, the entity lashed out, calling him a disgrace and accusing him of dooming the universe he was leaving behind. But Mark didn't waver. In the next moment, he was pulled out of that reality and returned to his own timeline. He emerged from the same cave he had once vanished into, stepping back into the world he had left behind, still carrying the weight of everything he had seen and done. As Mark flew through planet, something caught his eye that sent a jolt of panic through him. the wreckage of the Telescrian spaceship. It was torn apart like a ghost of what it once was. Without wasting another second, he changed course and raced back to Telescria, his heart pounding with dread. The worst-case scenarios rushed through his mind as he flew faster than he ever had. When he finally arrived, he found Eve standing on a balcony, gazing out at the stars. Her face was calm but tired, worn by time and experiences he had missed. When she turned and saw him, she was completely stunned. It had been so long since she had last seen him, and his sudden return didn't feel real. Mark quickly tried to explain everything. He told her where he had been, the unbelievable journey he had taken, and how he had traveled through time. He was left speechless, trying to process his words. Mark admitted something deeply personal. He had been faced with an impossible decision, and when it came down to it, he chose his daughter, Tara Grayson, over saving thousands of others. That choice had haunted him, but in his heart, he knew he couldn't let go of his family. He asked Eve where Tara was, needing to see her more than anything else in the universe. When he finally laid eyes on his daughter, a wave of joy washed over him. But that joy quickly turned into sorrow. Tara wasn't the little girl he remembered. She was older, noticeably older. In that moment, the reality of what he had lost hit him hard. The time he had spent away, what had felt like weeks to him, had actually been years. Years of Tara's life he would never get back. Her first words, first steps, those quiet moments of being a dad gone. Mark broke down in tears, overwhelmed by the happiness of seeing her and the pain of everything he had missed. The weight of the years lost and the cost of the choices he'd made settled in his chest like stone. He was back, but the world had moved on without him. And that's the story, folks. Please leave your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this one. See you next time.